Good morning, it's me, I'm back. Been away for a couple of weeks from filming and stuff. Well, actually, that's a bit of a lie. I've got some stuff on video. I'm not sure, because I'm a lazy sod, I'm not sure where it'll fit in with this lot, but I'm just going to start sort of afresh from today. Bloody dog. So, koi show at Coventry yesterday. What a brilliant day. It was good to catch up with people, friends, and good to meet a few of the guys that watch the videos. Thanks for saying hi, and it's much appreciated. It gives me a little bit of a spur on to keep doing it. People saying that they enjoy it. So where I'm at now, haven't had a lot going on. Obviously everything's been sort of ticking along alright, but as always there's always something to do. Little kahaku in the pond with the knock on its shoulder, still looking quite red, so I need to get that out. And the shower that was absolutely covered in flukes a while back, I'm not sure if I've got that. I should have that on video. I can't remember where I'm at. But anyway, so I need to get the shower and have a scrape of that. I'm assuming it is going to be absolutely covered in flukes still. I have done 2 fluke treatments. I did the fluke solve, I think, which was on the last video, and then a week after I did re-scrape, which was about a week ago, 10 days ago from now, and I still had fluke on. I can't even think what fish it was I got out and scraped, but there were still flukes on it, so I redosed with fluke M. But since doing that, I've been told that fluke M isn't probably the best treatment to use if you have a shower. Something to do with the ceramic media and it getting soaked in, or I can't remember exactly what. So that may have been an ineffective treatment, so we'll see. So as I say, so I'll get them, at least them 2 fish out, maybe another couple, just to have a quick scrape and the odd treatment here and there, no doubt. The chag that I moved from the inside to the outside did split its tail actually. I haven't got an auto feeder on there, so when I'm feeding sort of morning, when I get in from work and in the evening, and the missus is probably doing 1 feed a day as well at some point. So a bit of a feeding frenzy, as I'm sure you guys know, especially with the temperatures now up to sort of, it's 20 plus degrees every day, the air temp, so the pond, even though I haven't checked, was about 18 something the other day, so they're absolutely on it. Within the feeding frenzy, when you chuck some food in, it's obviously got bashed and split its tail, and I didn't do anything with it. I sat on my hands for a week-ish, maybe a little bit more, maybe it's nearly 2 weeks now, and looking at it, it looks completely healed. Maybe a tiny little split at the end, but it did split it quite far down in the middle of its tail, so point there of just sort of leaving it if you know your water's okay and everything else is alright, just letting them get on with it and sort of heal it. Hence leaving the kahaku for a bit just to see what happens, but it's still red, so I think now's the time. It's been a couple of weeks to get it out and chuck a bit of treatment on it and just have a check over it, make sure everything else is alright. So I'm going to do that now. It's absolutely roasting today, brilliant. So I'm going to get wet no doubt, and I need to hurry up because England are playing later. Come on England, we can win it, can't we? Can we win the World Cup? Don't know. Anyway, get my kit together and I will get on with. So before I do any scrapes and stuff, or while I'm getting everything ready, I'm just going to do some water tests as well, because you never know. I did have that niggly nitrate issue, so hopefully that's gone. I'll do that now while, as I say, I'm getting my microscope and treatment bits together. So I'll give them a few minutes. I'll go and get a scrape, come back, and we'll see what we're at. I always have a bit of trouble with nitrite, so I think I'm just going to do, I can see that slightly going, look. I'm going to do just a plain tap water one, just to compare the colour, because obviously there's no, well, there should be no nitrite in the tap water, so, well, there isn't in mine normally when I have checked it. Just as a compare a 0 sample to one which definitely has some in it, which is this one. Anyway, so I'll go and do that, just because I'm old now. My eyes aren't the best and I'm colourblind anyway, so I normally have to get one of the girls. My son is as well colourblind a tad, so I have to get one of the girls in the house to actually decipher the colour for me. But there we go. Great. So here's the shower, the one that was absolutely lathered in fluke. So Bit of excess mucus there. I mean, on the whole, it's not... I mean, I'll whip it over and have a look underneath. It's not bad. There's definitely excess mucus here, and there's a little bit of... little tiny mark on its peck there. There's a little bit missing. Anyway, I'll get a scrape. Hopefully there's nothing untoward on the underside. I presume that's a scratch from maybe flashing. Anyway. Yeah, definitely excess mucus there, and I can see it's knocked itself on the gill there as well. Overjoys. Right. Get the scrape done and we'll get it back. It's not happy. Quite a bit of mucus there. That was just one down the side and a bit underneath, so we'll see. Now this mucus sample's quite thick. What it's worth doing is just adding a drop of pond water to it, just to try and thin it out a bit. And then what I do is, with your slide, just give it a bit of a chop up. And if you haven't got a lot of mucus anyway, there's probably no point in doing this. You just put the slide straight on. But because this is thick, it's still pretty thick. Look, and then just clean the slide off. There's loads. Right. See what we got. Excuse the poor quality video there. I've got a new laptop and the driver for the USB mini grab camera thing or whatever isn't available for Windows 10. Well, I can't find it at the minute. I gave up. But yeah, you could see I found literally on the first side of the slide 3 flukes and a crap load of Costia, my friend. Okay, well at least I know what I'm dealing with, and I haven't got to trawl through hundreds of scrapes to try and find the issue. So, and I've also got a nitrite reading again. Tap water. So I need to cut back on food. I have just changed the food actually. I've finished up the couple of boxes I had of the wheat germ, and I had some colour in there as well, and I've just switched over to the Shori. Now I have been feeding quite a bit less of that because there's a little bit more protein in it, but because I've got 2 bags left from last year, I thought I'd start using it when the temps are up. But, so I need to cut back on feed now, if not no feed for a bit. First port of call now is to get rid of the treat for Costia. Not too worried about the fluke just yet. There's quite a lot of Costia on it. I mean, there was loads flashing in and out. The poor quality phone video you can quite clearly see half a dozen or so just zipping across. For those that have been watching the videos for a while, I did have Costia last year for what seemed like ever, and the only way I got rid of it in the end was salt and ICC from Duncan Griffiths. But the salt did take forever to get out of the pond, so I don't know, it's sort of one of one and half a dozen of the other kind of thing, isn't it? So, but I do need to make sure I get on top of the Costia like sharpish, especially with the temps now and the fish not being the happiest fish in the world. So, well, it's good and bad, isn't it? You know what you're treating for, but obviously Costia isn't a nice one to have. I mean, they're all up and around. There's not. So I've seen the odd few flick and flash. There's not been tons of it. So I mean, that's the shower there. Coming round now. So I will get, you can see the red mark on it there, Microscope, hence it obviously not healing. It's obviously feeling a bit down on what with parasite issues now, so let's get on top of that. I'll have a think and then come back and see what to do, but I need to be doing that the next day or two really. I need to get some stuff ordered and get it here Tuesday, Wednesday. I need to get it in. Oh well. It's a weird one, because I haven't got to spend hours scraping fish and getting eye strain and headaches, but obviously on the other hand you're just thinking, bloody Costia. Not too worried about the flukes, that's always sort of minor compared to stuff like Costia, Chilo, or even Trick. Treat all that stuff, treat the flukes last, so there we go. Man, when's it ever going to stop? Anyway, right, joy, oh joys. So that's my pH, which is normal 8.2, 8.4 for me, and there's some ammonia. Looks a bit green there, but it is, I've been told it's yellow, so that's 0. So I'm converting my ammonia, just not got enough nitrite bugs. Well, that's all going to be blown to smithereens now. I've got a treat for Costia, so joy. As you can tell, this fish is not happy. That's not great, that. Quite red. This is what I would class as an indicator fish for me. If there's anything ever wrong with the pond, this fish just goes veiny as hell. Look at it. Obviously, it's a little bit stressed of it being netted, but not a major disaster there, but it's quite red, so I'm just going to chuck a bit of this on. Have a bit of a, clear the junk off of it, it's a little bit of green there, and then get it back in. Not going to do anything too invasive. I'll flip it over again like I did with the other one, just have a look underneath. The show was actually all clear. Nice and clear belly underneath, so hopefully this will be the same. Just that knock there. Yeah, right, anyway, back on. So, I've gone with, I had a look what I had in my treatment cupboard, and then I worked out again how much salt I would need if I was going to use salt, and you're talking 70 something kilos, 70, nearly 80 kilos to get it up to 0.6. And when I did do it last year, it was in for absolutely ever, trying to get the salt out. Because I've got a drum, obviously I can't dump a lot of water in one go, so I have to turn the trickle up. And it just takes forever to get rid of it. So, and looking what I add, I have got salt here, but nowhere near that quantity. I've just gone with standard malachite formalin, which is in now, and then obviously a re-scrape and a retreatment if needed in, well, probably, because I think I've had it forever, and it's only now that the fish is having a bit of a spot of bother that the Costia's reared up again. So anyway, well, the treatment's in now, and then I'm not sure what, 5 or 7 days or something like that. 7 days. So next weekend I'll get the shower out, which is the one that was causing me the most bother, and then re-scrape just to see where we're at. So turn my UV off, no food at the minute either, obviously because of my nitrite issue. Trickles off as well, so you know, just try and hit them and get it sorted. And then I'll have the flukes to deal with, no doubt, in whenever I get rid of the Costia. Hopefully, one pass, but you know, I'm not sure whether having a shower causes maybe a few more parasitic issues, or not more issues for parasites, but just harder to get rid of because you've got a shower. And with the water cascading inside in a random fashion, not every single thing gets enough treatment on it. I don't know. It just does seem, since I've had a shower on it, I have just had constant parasite issues. Whether or not I'm just unlucky, I don't know. But anyway, the treatment's in, and I'll just keep an eye on the fish for the next half hour or so, just to make sure everyone's alright. And then, as I say, we'll leave it a week and then re-scrape, see where we're at. Summer is here today. Right. So after the formalin and malachite green treatment the other day, they were a bit off yesterday actually. I was not worried about them, but they weren't happy, they were sulking, which they normally do, to be honest, if that's gone in. But at the minute, though, today, not long been in from work, they're up and going mental for looking for food. But the shower that I scraped and had a ton of caustic on it is still a bit sulky over here. I do need to keep an eye on it. Everybody else seems to have perked up no end today. I'm still a bit veiny. I'm going to have to turn my trickle back on. As you can see by my skimmer there, water's down quite a bit. Temperature at 19 degrees at the minute. He's still very veiny. But it's only been in this is what's that, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, third day this is now. So I'm still not going to put any food in. I've not checked me water parameters, but I'm not putting any food in. But I will, I think, turn the trickle back on just to keep the water level up a bit higher. The trouble with the drum, you can't drop the water too much, otherwise the float switch doesn't have a lot of play. It is on the lowest setting in the drum, but it only gives me about, I think, sort of like 2 or 3 inches of play within the water level. So as I say, do need to keep an eye on that, and I'm going to get that turned on after I fill my work van up. I'll get it turned on, but leave it on very slight. Won't be using a ton of water with the cleaner in the drum, but I need to replace what it is using because it's taking water from the clean side rather than from tap water. Anyway, so basically looking a lot better, apart from the sulky shower. I don't know where it's gone, probably to sulk over in the corner over there.